What is up, guys? Austin here, or Luna. So this is a story I hope I never have to tell again, because I didn't want to tell this, but it's so worthy of the 40K week. I just thought I'd have to. So this story is about how I got offered laced weed. Hopefully none of you have ever had to deal with this, because this is not fun, and it's just really not cool. So this took place at the end of summer, end of freshman year. It was almost the end of summer. Technically, I was a 10th grader, because within the next few weeks I'd be going to 10th grade. So I was a 10th grader, and I was 15. I didn't even turn 16 yet. I was hanging out with one of my good buddies who knows a bunch of people who smoke in the community, and they just like my town consists of so many stoners and so many sketchy ones and so many safe ones. And you guys know I don't smoke with people I don't know. Not to mention, this was actually when I was on a tea break, or not even a tea break. I was having some anxiety issues, which also didn't make the story any better. But this was bad, because I was having a lot of anxiety at the time, and I thought that weed was the cause. When it wasn't, I found the cause, but I thought that weed was causing it, and I was blaming weed for everything. So I didn't want to smoke at the time, and I just didn't like it. So my friend brought me to this park where we were hanging out, and he actually met up with some other people there that I know personally, and I know them for being sketchy. One of them in the group who I know has told me straight up, he has tried very hardcore drugs. And I'm not talking like MDMA or anything like that. I'm talking straight up, hardcore shit, needles, stuff like that. But I know him, and he's a sketchy dude. He laces his weed. He almost ruined my friend's life, which is basically a whole other story in itself. But anyway, this was weird, because we met up with these kids. It was me, my friend. We went to this park, met up with these other kids. I think there was 3 of them, and one of them was the kid that I said who laces his weed with shit and just does hardcore drugs. And he was high off something other than weed. He was he must have been on something, because he kept saying, "Oh, I feel so good. I can feel my body getting numb." And I was like, "What the fuck? What are you smoking?" And I didn't say that, but in the back of my head, I'm like, "What is this kid doing?" So some sketchy moments went by, and they started smoking, and they were passing the joint to everyone. They passed it to me, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'm really not feeling that good." And they're like, "Oh, you sure, man? You used to smoke a lot." I was like, "No, I'm on a break. I'm on a tea break." They're like, "Oh, understandable." And they were really respectful of it. The kid who does the hardcore drugs, I'm just going to call, the kid who's sketchy in the group, basically just said, he's like, "Pussy." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm a pussy for not smoking." He's like, "Yeah, dude, come on, just do it." I was like, "Nah, man." So I didn't do it. That night went by. I didn't smoke. They were smoking throughout the whole time. We were just hanging out at this park. And the park closed. We stayed in the park after it closed, but we weren't really supposed to be there. This kid told me to come with him because he wanted to ask me something. And when I say this kid, I'm talking about the one that's sketchy out of the whole group. So I followed him out to not out to the woods. I just followed him a good 10 feet away from my friends. And he asked me, he's like, "Yo, do you got any money on you?" I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I think I only have a couple bucks." He's like, "Oh, that's fine." I'm like, "What are you asking me? What are you trying to sell me?" And he's like, "Dude, I have some really high quality, good shit. This, I'm pretty sure, dude, this strain is straight from California, some dank ass shit." And I was like, "Dude, I told you I don't smoke anymore." And he got kind of defensive. He's like, "Come on, bro. You're just on a tea break. You could just fucking do it when you're done with your tea break, right?" And I was like, I guess." And I was getting peer pressured, and I was like, "Fuck that." So I told him, I was like, "Well, why is this strain so good? I've had weed from California before," and I was basically just trying to get him off my back. I was like, "I've had weed from California before. What makes it so good?" And he whipped it out, looked legitimately like normal weed, looked completely fine. It had a weird smell to it, but it looked fine. And he just said, he's like, "Come on, man, try it. Just try it with me right now." And I was like, "No, dude, I'm not down for that." And then he literally said, "I put a special ingredient in it." I fucking shit you not. This kid literally straight up goes, "I put a special ingredient in it." I was like, "What would that be?" He's like, "You'll find out." And I was like, "No, I won't." I turned around and I just started walking. He's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm out, dude. I'm not trying to buy weird weed." He's like, "It's not weird weed, dude. It's a really good strain. It's a hybrid." I'm like, "Yeah, hybrid with fucking heroin? Really, dude?" And I started walking. I tapped my friend on the shoulder when I was walking by, and I was like, "Dude, we gotta fucking go." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "My mom needs me." So we walked out of the park, immediately called my mom, and had her come pick me up, because fuck that. Who says that? I'm gonna try and sell you weed. I know a great tactic to get good business with my weed. I laced it. Try it. Who the fuck does that? Really? So we got picked up. We dipped. I was out of there, like, fuck that. And he actually was sending me some really threatening text messages later that night, but fuck that, like, really. But it was just crazy, and I hope I never have to reflect on this again. And I really hope he doesn't see this, because he'll probably try and jump me or something, because he's that kind of kid. But I want to know in the comments below if you guys have ever been offered sketchy weed or anything that you might have thought had been laced. We've hit 1K likes on like every video I've been uploading so far, so maybe we can try and keep the streak going. Maybe we can hit 1K likes on this video too. That'd be fucking awesome. You guys are always making my jaw drop every day. You guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And don't buy weed from sketchy people. I love you guys so much. Peace out.